We are here today, January 31st, for New York State Bridge Authority meeting. We have board members to my left, Commissioner Rod Dressel. To the left of that would be Lane Lashua, would be Assistant Executive Director Tara Sullivan, Commissioner Roger Higgins, our attorney Carl Whitback, our Executive Director Joe Ruggiero, and myself, Richard Jarentine, as acting chairman. With that, I'd like to have a motion to go into the executive session.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We'll be out pretty shortly.
Bill, Brian.
right, good afternoon again. We're reconvened after privileged colloquy with our attorney. We will start our January 31st meeting. The first meeting would be the Governments Committee meeting.
I move to adopt the minutes of the December 20 meeting.
Second.
Second, any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 2, review of confidential evaluation of board performance survey of commissioners for 2012.
As the board, the governance committee and the board authorized, we conducted the evaluation in a confidential manner. The results have been compiled. You'll note that commissioners generally, concurred that the evaluation, they agreed with the evaluation criteria. No commissioner disagreed to any level with any of the evaluation criteria. There are some areas that, we can always show a little bit of improvement in, and we will address them. This is for the governance committee to approve sending to the authority budget office. No board action is necessary on this. So with the committee's approval, I'll send the results to the ABO.
All right.
You want a formal vote for that?
Yes, we need.
So moved.
Part of the resolution that we're going to send it to the government.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any other business? If not, a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye on that, on adjournment. All right, next we have the Finance Committee meeting. Chairman Rod Dressel.
The first is to adopt the minutes from the last meeting, which just to say a couple comments on. Pretty much it was an outline of what the Finance Committee's charter requirements are, of which we performed all those. And that was pretty much the minutes from the last meeting. So we approved those minutes. Rich, you and I are the committee, I guess, for that.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, now second, we'll vote aye,
Aye.
opposed? So the next item on the agenda is the Newburgh Beacon Bridge decking financing. I would just say a couple of words in that the bids came in quite close together, but they were a little higher than we were hoping for, than what our engineers anticipated. With that, that's going to have a little impact on our capital improvement plan. So I would like to entertain that maybe some of the board join in with this discussion. And perhaps, Brian, can you give us a little background on how you see this amount of money for the redecking going to affect our capital plan, and are we going to be able to handle it?
Okay, absolutely. On September 20th, 2012, the board adopted the 2013 through 2017 capital program. It's attached to a memo I provided.
Brian, speak up, please.
Sorry. Basically, we had estimated the construction cost at $82 million in that plan. The actual awarded the contract we're proposing be awarded is for $93.1 million, approximately $11 million difference. While itself it's a large number, it represents 6.7% of the $164 million capital program. Given the revenues and expenditures along with other contracts that are being awarded, we don't feel at this point in time that we feel at this point in time we are able to cover this with our finances as we continue to perform to our budget as planned. Considering the normal variation we have between actuals and estimates and the fact that this is something we'll have to look at each year, at this time we feel the authority can afford to award at 93.1.
We probably will have to delay maybe some other capital projects, perhaps in the near future?
We'll have to
Of
go,
course, the concern is, hope these aren't projects that hinder the safety,
Well, I don't think we're going to,
maintenance of the bridge.
We're not going to delay any projects that would delay the safety of the bridge. I mean, under any circumstances, there would be other options that we would have to consider as the board for financing a safety project. So I do think there are projects that are in the capital plan that are a non-safety issue, some paint projects and other things that down the road that may be delayed a year or two. As the treasurer said, that, you know, we created the toll structure last year. It was to create a $165 million capital plan, $100 million of which is bonding, the other $65 million through the PAYGRO. And that number seems to be on target and remain intact. And as long as we don't exceed that over, you know, we're 1 year down under this 5-year spend down of these capital monies, we have the capacity to afford this. But it's going to, the board this year, when you sit down to do the next version of the capital plan, as well as when we get the new inspection reports from engineering, we need to then look and reshuffle the priorities a bit, but the capacity is there. The engineers did come back in late December, even though the plan called it for being $81 million, $82 million plan. The engineering estimates were coming in around $87 million, and now the bids kept coming in at $93 million. So, you know, good news is last year the paint project came in under bid, close to what, $4 to $5 million. That's capacity in the plan. So I think there'd be no issue. I think the board should have confidence in knowing that they're going to be able to award the bid. You guys, the finance committee, could recommend that to the board. The plan has the capacity, and like any other plan, you know, it's a living document, and, you know, outside any unforeseen things that the future engineering reports annually demonstrate, we believe the plan is still solid.
One other point too I would like to make is the fact that, you know, this project is a very necessary project. I mean, we've been delaying it, waiting it. I mean, actually, we just had some problems this past week regarding the bridge, which cost us even more money to repair. So I think it's, you know, very utmost to, you know, start the project, finish the project, because the long run will probably save us on maintenance costs. Secondly, I think some of the numbers that Brian have mentioned are probably on the conservative side. And I'm glad you did it on the conservative side, but I think that when it's all said and done, like Joe said, there's $100 million into the project already, and I think the balance of the 65,000 or 65 million will be covered by the toll increases. So with those numbers, I feel very confident that this could be a very doable project, and we'd like to see the numbers come in a little bit lower than what they did, but unfortunately they didn't. But I would make a motion from the Finance Committee to recommend this to the board for a vote this afternoon.
Okay. Any other, I'll second, of course. Now, is there any other discussion?
Just one other comment. Just
Any other comments?
the 10 bids that were received.
Well, let's keep that until the. Okay, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to talk about the integrity of the bid itself. You know, the grouping were in the low 90s. You know, 4 or 5 of the bids were there. So, I mean, I think what people, if the question is this the right cost of the project, the industry has responded in such a way that I think that you can have confidence in the number is the value.
Right, so there was 93 was the low, and there's a 94, a 94, 96,
Right.
94,
Right.
97, 102, 106.
So,
Any other, Brian, you have any more, Carl, do you have any comments as far as legally?
no, I don't.
Roger, you
No, I'll wait till we get to the full, till it moves to the full board.
We made a motion second to move on to our agenda this afternoon.
we move, okay, for favor of submitting
Yes.
to the board
By all means.
on the agenda.
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that closes the finance committee.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We're starting a regular board meeting, January 31st. We have an agenda. We just have to make one little note to add Family medical leave request for 2013 for executive director. Just kindly add that to new business. Someone make that in the form of a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye. You all right, Rod?
Yep, that's just
Must be something in the air here.
Yeah.
Bill, there's something in the air here?
It's too dry.
Us old guys, we gotta have water.
It's dry in here, yep.
Adopt the regular board meeting minutes of December 20th, 2012.
So moved.
Move, second.
Second.
Discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Administration.
Afternoon.
Mr. Russo?
I have just one item under the administrative department this month, and that is that we received an invoice for our annual assessment as a member of the Easy Pass Interagency Group for year 2013. And as you'll note in the memo, our small member agency assessment is unchanged from when we joined the group back in 1997 at $17,500. So I'm asking by resolution for you to authorize that remittance.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Russo? Engineering, Bill?
Alrighty. We have a pretty healthy agenda for you today. I'll move right through. We just closed out the 3-year term of our previous standby readiness contract. That was held by I.N.O. Slutsky. We only received 2 bids. The low bidder this year for the next 3-year term was Hudson Valley Bridge Construction out of Harriman, New York, at $494,000. So they had done work here on the Mid-Hudson Bridge, matter of fact, just earlier this year as a subcontractor on the overlay replacement project. They did a great job here. They have a current contract with the Thruway. They got a good recommendation from the Thruway as well. So we'd like to recommend award of this contract to HVB Construction.
So moved.
Increased this amount last year, didn't we? Or did we?
We increased it a couple of times in the 3 years. The walkway was added last year, so we had to increase the budget for those walkway repairs. But,
Hoping not to spend it.
Right.
We usually do, so.
right, just for surprises. The next item is,
Hold on.
oh, I'm sorry,
Aye.
So moved.
Move it.
going too fast.
Discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next, Bill?
Thanks. We've been working with the DOT on a weight in motion type of equipment. It weighs heavy trucks without pulling them over and putting them on a scale. It's not really accurate enough to write them a ticket, but it's accurate enough to pre-screen for the formal scale weighing and appropriate ticketing. So DOT finally got their budget through. The problems we're having on the Newburgh Beacon deck are primarily attributed to overload vehicles. We've done some studies of our own with weight in motion technology, and we are aware that there's a lot of phantom, very heavy trucks that run across the I-84 corridor at night. It's kind of, it's quite challenging to try to police your own facility all by yourself. Working with the DOT and the Thruway, you know, we feel a regional approach to policing for overweight vehicles would be a lot more effective. This type of technology not only affords you, the information on the weight of the truck, takes a picture of the truck, picture of the license plate, sends an email within a few seconds to wherever you want. So we hope to work with the state police and the other sister agencies on creating a network of. There's 3 weight in motion stations proposed under this project. One of them would be on our section of I-84 or just east of our jurisdiction. So the DOT is asking for a $20,000 share of the cost.
$200,000.
$200,000. Sorry.
This is zero.
Right, I'm glad you're watching. They would install all the equipment. We've brought power and communication to the site for a previous project. We put up an overhead variable message sign. So we think it's a potential to create a lot of value and hopefully provide a longer service life to all of our bridge decks if we can.
Well, what's the process if an overloaded truck is identified and it's approaching our bridge?
Right.
Do we stop it?
Well, that's an operational issue. Right. Do we stop it? Do we wait for the cops? Do we ask the cops to come on the first Thursday of the month and just catch them as they come? Are they on call? Are they available? I don't really have the answers to the operational side. We'll have to meet with our sister agencies and develop a programmatic.
I've discussed this with the commissioner for DOT already, as well as the head of the thruway, and that we're going to sit down and hammer out a strategy once this does actually become.
And just
It's a common concern.
Are these traditional tractor trailers that are just packed and traveling with overweight, or are they bigger vehicles that sometimes we see the oversized vehicles and things like that, and the waiting, waiting for their escorts, but
If you're an obvious,
Yeah.
press or some piece of equipment, they're not as likely to travel at night as a
Right.
regular box truck. You can't tell.
they're really box trucks that are just overloaded.
Right.
The whole question will be the number of axles when they
Yeah.
really check them out.
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody says the same thing. I would comply with all the rules if everybody else did, but I can't be the only one. I'll go out of business. Everybody else is cheating, so it needs to be a system-wide enforcement.
And, now we have a very, hit or miss process. I mean, occasionally,
Completely
the state
random.
police will be there and they pull over every tractor trailer that comes through the toll plaza, and, it's really a labor-intensive, not a very efficient method.
Right. Aggravates a lot of legitimate, trucks.
I had a recent incident in New Jersey where I was tracked by a camera, got a ticket for that. It was amazingly fast. It was very accurate, and I was impressed with how what the technology could do. I knew it, but it really worked. And if nothing else, you could send the picture of the company.
Right.
If you had too many incidents
We're
with
aware
the company,
you're-
even if you didn't stop them.
Right.
The authority's been pretty aggressive, I think, in adapting new technology. It's one of the things I think that we should all be very proud of, and this is another example. So I think we should move forward with it.
Right.
On the 20,000 or 200,000?
Well, 20.
200. So I won't have to.
So I'll make a motion.
Make a motion? Second?
Second.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Thank you. Next up, our friends at OGS are still struggling to bring in a winter contract for road salt and winter maintenance materials. We came to you late fall and asked for a interim purchase amount to get us through till now, which we thought at that time by January there would be a state contract in place for salt and sand. Unfortunately, there isn't. So we took a survey of the supplies we have, and we'd like to fill up all of our salt sheds at the whole 5 facilities, which will add up to about 150 tons. Total for the 4 locations is about 37,300. So we need your authorization. We hope by before the winter's over, the OGS contract is in place, and we'll start purchasing from that as soon as it's available.
So moved.
Thanks. Discussion? This was already bid out, right? If I remember
We
correctly?
got 3 prices, same vendors as we used last year.
Right,
and
okay.
they-
Just bigger than discretionary.
Had there
Right,
been OGS
just because it's over the
contract,
Right,
50
you would
was.
have- right, exactly. All right.
And because there's 5 individual purchase orders for us to do our auditing, if you add them up, it's over 37 each individual purchase order.
I
is-
know, Jen, the resolution is missing off
There-
the back of
There
it.
didn't
There's
need,
no-
they didn't need to be a resolution. This was information only, because each resolution is gonna be under the threshold.
Gotcha.
But we didn't want to look like we
We
were
just wanted you to
breaking
know
it
what was gonna
down.
happen.
Right.
But I mean, we're doing it as a total resolution, so we'll probably be over the threshold.
No, you're not. Each resolution,
Each purchase order.
No, you're just gonna have-
requisition is gonna be separate for each facility.
There are different vendors for each one.
Right, okay. I would feel
Some
comfortable share
the
just do
same
it
thing.
anyway, as part of a resolution, so we don't have a problem in the future. You know, with anybody.
That's why we're here, trying to avoid a problem, so.
All right, so let's do it in resolution form, even though it's nothing for us, but you will have a resolution that we will vote on tonight, that we already, Roger, said to move it forward, and so second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next,
Next is, the Bear Mountain Bridge has an acoustical monitoring system installed since the year 2000, listening for wire breaks. Matter of fact, I just got a report last week. There was one in the last 16 months. The monitoring of the sound that comes out of the cable goes through a very complicated computer, and there's an annual service for that, $30,000 a year. It's the same fee we've been paying since 2000. So we'd like your authorization to continue
So
that
moved.
monitoring.
second. Discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks.
Next,
Next up is CAPS. They're our service and supplier for the antennas, part of the Easy Pass system. You may remember just a few months ago, I guess November, you authorized us to enter into the CAPS contract as a member of the IAG. Same rates apply for all the membership. And over a 9-year period, we estimated a total budget of $304,000. As it turns out, the contract expired the month before you approved, so the work that was done this fall, we just wanted to make you aware that we were going to charge it under that $304,000 budget. But the work was actually commenced in September. You didn't approve the contract till November. So just wanted to make that part clear, I guess. And there is a resolution for that.
yes, sir.
So moved.
Second. Any other discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Last one, jobs in progress.
Yep, not a whole lot of activity going on. The steel repairs continue on the walkway over the Hudson. They expect to be done by spring. They're working around the sub-zero temperatures. But, they're about 80% complete as of the end of this month. So they're on budget. Everything's good there. And then the Piaseki's continuing steel repairs on the Newburgh Bridge, and we'll move to Mid-Hudson probably later this month.
So moved.
It's on budget.
Second. All in favor? Thank you. Next, Brian.
First up is the monthly investment report. In December, there were 4 investments. Turning to the investment inventory, at the end of the year, the debt service fund goes to zero for the debt service payments. Between the maintenance reserve and the construction fund, we have approximately $3 million in available assets. In addition to that, our yields, interest income and yield increased by 0.01 to 0.37% for November. The last month we had data for.
Move to approve the investment report.
Motion. Yep. I'll second. Okay, you're second. Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Insurance fund balance determination.
Okay, as required under the bond resolution, referencing the sections below, we're required to annually determine the balance in the insurance fund. We receive a certification, a copy of a professional certificate from Majeski and Masters indicating that the appropriate balance is $9,665,940. This amount is computed by taking the replacement value of the south span Newburgh Beacon Bridge and multiplying it by 3%, which is the deductible on our insurance policies.
How do we know these are accurate figures?
Barney said something.
Okay.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Public authority cost recovery charges.
Annually, according to Section 2975, the Division of Budget is directed to allocate expenses for central government services to various public entities, including this authority. This year's share is $68,914, up $28,378 from 2012, and $56,756 from 2011. we're not really provided an allocation as to how this is billed out. We've received the bill annually.
It's a nice title, isn't it? Public Authority Cost Recovery Charges. Move the resolution.
Pay him next one. Second.
Second?
Okay.
All in favor? Say aye. Last one, accident review committee report, fourth quarter.
There were 64 accidents on the authority facilities in the fourth quarter of 2012. This compares to 59 the previous year. And there were no accidents involving authority personnel compared to 2 in the previous year. For the total year, we were at 201 accidents. This was lower than the 225 experienced in 2011. It's an 11% decrease, and that equates to roughly 290,000 crossings. We see 290,000 crossings for each accident. There is no action required by the board for this. It's purely for information.
Thank you, Brian.
Just safer across the Kingston Bridge.
There you go. Human resources, no report. Information technology, no report. Operations, no report. Reports to the board from the executive director. We have 3 of them. Joe?
A monthly expense report, which I don't have any expenses this month. You got a copy of the traffic and revenue analysis report. It's interesting that we saw nearly a 6% decrease in traffic in the last month of the 2012 year, but our revenues are on target, and as the treasurer indicated before, we actually will probably come in about 1.8 million above where we projected revenue to be for the end of 2012, so we're doing good there. Something new that's going on in the authority, we have been selling Easy Pass tags right in the lane. This week, Newburgh actually was started over the last couple of days, and within the 1 month, we've nearly sold 70% as many Easy Pass tags in 1 month as we did of all of last year. So it's very convenient, and the folks, the only advertising is on the signs in front of the plaza, and so hopefully it will help drive market share for the Easy Pass tags, and we can't keep them on the shelf, so to speak. So it's a new initiative we're doing. The MTA did it, has been doing it for, I guess, the better part of a year, and after talking to them, it was very little effort here to implement it, and it's going well. So as we get more numbers, we'll be reporting back to you.
Any questions? If not, Joe, maybe next month you can give us just a breakdown or up to date regarding the advertising on the different bridges, how we've been moving with that,
Sure.
the cost, not the cost, but how much revenue we have actually taken in.
And we'll hopefully next month we'll be able to discuss with you a couple other deals with the dark fiber we're working on, which is some other non-toll revenue monies which are going in the right direction. You guys will be pleased.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next would be new business. We have a proposal for Newburgh Beacon bridge deck replacement. This is was talked about from the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee recommended it to the full board. Then, first of all, let's have a motion to move it forward.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
As everyone very well knows, it's a project that we must do. The bids came in slightly 6% higher than we anticipated. We feel confident with our capital projects and being cautious on our capital projects that we'd be able to finance this with the $100 million that we have in the bank and the $65 million that we're going to be producing from now until the 3-year period of time of completion. So saying all that, it's open up for discussion. Bill, if you want to add anything more, I know Joe had mentioned that the parameters, most of the bidders within segment of within $3 million basically on the bid. So I mean, it's a fair, accurate value for what we're getting.
Correct.
So
Just for the record, on January 22nd, we had a bid opening here at headquarters up in the House 1. There were 10 bids received, and the low bidder is Kiska Construction of Long Island City, New York, in the amount of $93,118,000. Originally, the bid that was reported that day, the low bid at that point, was $93,540,000, and there was an error in the bid calculation and actually worked to the favor of the authority, about a net of $400,000. So right now, Kiska Construction is the parent winner. the board so chooses to award it at $93,118,000.
Any questions?
No, just a comment. The process has been a lengthy one. That seems like it's been going on forever. But I think that the process is what contributes to, at least I'll just speak for myself, a personal feeling of confidence in what's going to be certainly my affirmative vote today. I feel very comfortable the way that we've approached this as a board, and certainly our professional staff that's been working to bring this to fruition today. One of the things that we learn when we go to the public authority classes in Albany is that it's important for those of us that sit on the board to do our due diligence and to ask questions, and we've done that. And I'm not just speaking for me; all the board members have done that. So I'm very comfortable with getting to the point that we're at today, and I'll be voting in the affirmative. I congratulate everyone.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
There's a couple other resolutions in the one memo. We need railroad flagman services to complete this job, so we have an estimate from Metro North on that 3-year effort, $218,400, and then the Department of Labor gets a tax, so to speak, on all capital construction projects awarded, so that they can monitor our labor rates and labor laws. So, based on the size of this job, that's calculated as a percentage. It came out to $93,114.20. So, of course, that's over our board authorization threshold. So we have a resolution for those two items as well. Next.
The only other item, remember we felt very satisfied because all the work's going to be done at night, right? And the workers are going to work 10-hour shifts.
We anticipate
right?
that, yeah.
So hopefully that saves us some money to set up, take down every
Right.
night.
And with no additional compensation for the night work. Fine.
Like
It was
Roger
reduced,
said,
yeah.
there was a lot of work behind the scenes, up front, where they have a pilot, or have a project labor agreement with the unions, not only to help local employment, but also to save the agency some monies.
Right.
This project, is part of Governor Cuomo's New York Works project, and as well as it has the bid included his Drivers First initiative, which is sensitive to when you do the jobs, perform the work, to be the least disruptive to the traveling public. But I guess this past week we've kind of killed that, but one of the other bridges.
Right. We're not designing any congestion into anybody's life. We're very hopeful that we'll be able to complete the job without.
And also, this project also includes a 20%
Women
minority section where that has to go out to that type of agency or company to do that work. In saying that, can we take all these 3 resolutions together, or you want to take them individually?
No, I would move we take them all together.
Okay, so we're going to take them all 3 as one resolution. Roger moved it, correct? Second? Aye. Any other discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, everyone.
Yep.
When's the shovel go on the ground? The concrete?
Well, we're going to meet early next week. I don't expect to see a lot of activity until May, but they'll be here in March, late March, getting things mobilized.
You did all 3 of them in one, or you
Yeah, we did
five?
all 3 of them.
We did all 3.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Well, then we have the last one here, which is the family medical leave request for 2013. Everyone has a copy of this letter from our executive director, Joe Ruggiero. As you know, he's been approved in the past for the care of his parents during his illness. It allows him to assist his mother with general care during the illness. Under the law, the family medical leave will expire in February. He asked to renew for the year 2013.
So moved.
So moved. Any discussion? If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Alrighty. Any old business? If not, is there anything else regarding the attorney-client privilege? Nope. Motion to adjourn? Roger? Second? Second. Any other discussion? If not, next meeting, February 21st at 3 p.m. here. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thanks.